All right, so now we're going to talk about some sneaky little tricks for getting your emails open, increasing your open rate. And this first one, we call dug up subject lines. And no, we didn't misspell Doug. You'll see in just a second why it's spelled with two G's. But Perry, I'll let you take this one because you were the person who told me about this, and it's probably one of the most brilliant subject line idea generators, headline generators. It's just a really, really cool strategy for how to get pre-tested subject line ideas that are going to get open.
Yeah,
So,
they're absolutely winners. You know, this is something I came up with just really quite by luck. And I'm going to give you an example I use with a friend of mine. Tim Schmidt is a marketer. It's in a mastermind group that we're in. And basically, if you don't know what Digg is, Digg.com is a website that
two G's, D-I-G-G.
Yeah, D-I-G-G, that aggregates blog posts and news articles and videos. And by people voting, thousands and thousands and thousands of people, millions of people see these blog posts, thousands of people vote, and the ones that are the very best rise to the top based on votes. Okay? And the reason they rise to the top usually is because they have a killer headline. Because
Right.
most of the people that are Digg users use something called RSS feeds or RSS readers, and they really only see for the most part the headline of these blog posts, and they'll go, "Ooh, I like that one. I'll read that," and they'll give it a dig. So basically, what this is, what I think Digg is the world's largest headline testing database.
Right.
I mean, there are literally millions and millions of viewers all over the world that test these headlines. So all you have to do is go to Digg. You go to the search box, and they have some criteria. You know, most Diggs and newest Digg. There are other criteria you can get to get different results. But a friend of ours, Tim Schmidt, we were at this meeting, and I was demonstrating this technique, and he said, "Hey Perry, what do you think?" I said, "Somebody in the room tell me their market, and I'll see if I can find you a cool headline for an email." And Tim blurts out, he's a big burly guy. He said, "Concealed weapons," because that's his thing. And I said, "Okay, well, I don't think there'll be a lot, but I'll try." So I type in concealed weapon, and the headline, it's down to number 3 now. At the time, was the number 1 headline that popped up was "Naked Man Arrested for Concealed Weapon." That turned out to be one of Tim's best open rate headlines, and one of the ones that got the most talk, the most comments, everything were just fantastic. So it gives you a way to go out and grab a headline, and it can be about a current event. I do a lot of headlines. We didn't talk about that actually. We should have talked about that in the next slide, but the well, I guess we can since we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
We should have talked about that when we talk about it later.
There's this thing called the future.
We should have talked about that when we talked
It's
about it
very
later.
convenient.
One of the things that I do when I write headlines sometimes is sort of tie the headline to current events. A lot of people used the economic bailout packages as get your own whatever. There are a lot of people that use different things in the news that they can tie into headlines because timely headlines do get noticed. Things that are in the news get buzzed. So, but this is a really cool way of finding. Don't glaze over it because it's so incredibly powerful. There are probably 414 articles that say concealed weapon in them.
Yeah.
And that's number 3. So out of 414 headlines,
And that's a funky small niche.
this
too.
tested number 3. Okay, so remember that. That's really, really, really important. Everybody has, and one thing that just really helps you with me, it helps me with writer's block.
Right, yeah. If
you're
you
thinking-
don't have an idea for an email, go over to
Yeah,
Digg, type in your market, and look at what other people like. It's not just good for subject line ideas, although that's the primary usage. But yeah, just coming up for something to email your people about
Yeah. So
that is going to be popular because all the users on Digg have said, "I like this." I mean, you have had 8 in the case of the Naked Man Arrested. You have had 814 people dig that article.
And I've had people, and in a tiny as niche as that is, there's a ton. I use this in social media when I do social media posts on Twitter and Facebook and places like that. There's just a jillion uses for this, and I hope that you'll really use that tip.
Yeah, I mean, I'll guarantee you use one of those, and then your open rate will be high. Sneaky email marketing trick number 8 is using throat-grabbing subject lines. And some of the ideas, when it comes to using throat-grabbing subject lines, it's just using things that are gonna. By throat-grabbing, we mean they're gonna get attention. So using odd numbers.
I mean, the competition in the inbox today is vicious.
Oh yeah.
It's not like the good old days when people were only getting emails from you and three other people. I mean, today, your niche. If people are out there, one thing that most people don't know, if people have an itch they're trying to scratch, they'll try to look for 50 fingers to scratch it. I mean, if you're in the niche of somebody looking for ski boots, they're going to go look at 50 ski boot sites and sign up on 10 newsletters, and eventually one of those guys is going to write an email that gets that person's attention, and they're going to sell them some ski boots.
Yeah, and
So-
if you do some of these things that we're suggesting, hopefully that person will be you. But using odd numbers in the subject line, you can see here $524,838.71. That's an odd number that just jumps out at
Specific
you.
numbers too.
Yeah, it's odd, very specific. Using question marks, asking a question at the end of your subject line, it's one of those things that we knew that it worked in Google AdWords ads, that adding a question mark in Google AdWords ads would work there. That's another great way to test subject lines. So if it worked in Google AdWords ads, we figured, hey, let's try it in email subject lines. Sure enough, whenever we put question marks at the end, we'll typically get a bump.
The cool thing is they don't have to make any sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's almost better if they don't make
Yeah,
any
Google
sense.
made me slap proof. I mean, that's...
Yeah, right. It really doesn't make a whole
it's
lot of
not-
sense.
it's
But the
not a question.
mark, over Google made me slap proof without the question mark, you get a definite bump with the question mark.
Yeah. Percentages, and again, this has to deal just with the odd, it looks different, it sticks out, 99%. We've also had really good success whenever we're linking to a video of putting the fact that we're linking to a video in brackets, either at the beginning, in this case is at the beginning, or sometimes we'll put, video at the end of the subject line like that.
At the end
in
has worked
brackets.
better for me of late, and also this works really well with other content. Like if you've got a picture in the video, put brackets and PIC. Or if it's a webinar, you can put, if you're trying to send people to a webinar, you can put whatever is going to be delivered in the email.
Yeah, it's similar to this
You
next
know.
example, free report in, if you're giving somebody a free report, 7 deadly SEO mistakes, free report, we got that in parentheses at the end just to let them know, hey, if you opt into this, I mean, so there's...
I've used bracketed PDF does well too. So like if you're doing a free report, if you're doing the cheat sheets, just bracket the letters PDF, and it lets people know. Because PDF to people shows, ooh, there's something valuable in there.
Yep.
More valuable than just an email.
This next one, having the RE colon there, so to where, you make it be a reply, this is something that you can use, but you really need to use it sparingly, and you really need to use it cautiously. I know people that every single broadcast that they send out to their list has RE in front of it, just because they heard or they tested one time that if they put RE in front of their subject line, that they get a bump.
Its effectiveness.
But
if
yeah,
it's
you
overdone.
keep doing that, it's stupid. So typically what we'll do is if we send out, we might send out one email to our list, and we're going to talk about recycling emails later on, but if we send out one email to our list that says, watch me build your membership site, we might send out this email first, where it's just this subject line. Then we might follow up the next day with RE colon, watch me build your membership
Because
site.
it is a follow-up.
And
it's
it'll just be a
follow-up mail.
follow-up to that email. So as opposed to trying to come up with a new subject line, you put the RE in front of a subject line that already got a good open rate, and you're going to get another nice bump from that as well. So, but only use that if the subject line got a good open rate the first time around. All right? I mean, hopefully that's clear. So if you put a subject line out there, it gets a crappy open rate, putting an RE in front of it isn't going to turn something that was crappy into something that was good. But it'll turn something that was good into something that, it'll plus something, I guess. Same deal, personal pronouns. Everybody likes to see you, saying your report, download link included, about your free tickets, about your webinar registration. Anytime you put you or your and it makes sense,
I think they are the two most powerful words.
yeah, you're going to get a bump. Some more subject line ideas. If you can pique curiosity or confuse people or even shock them a little bit, that can be a good thing. This right here is one that we've used effectively a couple times. Photos enclosed, do not bend.
Don't bend your computer
Don't-
screen.
But I mean, we knew, and I used this as a joke. I wanted to kind of see if it would work. But one of the most tested envelope teasers. So in the direct mail world, if you are sending a direct mail piece with a photo inside, having a stamp on the outside that says "photo enclosed, do not bend," that has been proven to get envelopes opened. So I figure if I got a photo enclosed in an email saying "do not bend," it's a little bit curious, it's a little bit confusing. hopefully that curiosity alone will get them to open it. And when we did that, I mean, you can't use it all the time. If you keep sending out emails and every subject line is photos enclosed, do not bend. Again, it's going to lose its effectiveness. People are going to unsubscribe. But every time we use it, we get it's always one of our highest open rates. Same deal, Ryan Dice retires. That was an email that we sent out that was a little bit shocking, a little bit confusing, curiosity driven.
It was about you retiring a product, right?
Yeah, it was retiring a particular product. So different things that are going to play against who you are, and using a strange curiosity word like chucklehead.
I'm not real proud of this, but another marketer not too long ago.
I'm not real proud of this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
You know the one I'm talking about. When I say this, on the Get Money from Google product, I talk about how I wasn't a stellar student and made a lot of mistakes early in life, and so I kind of tell people that it's easy for you. If I can do this, you can do it. And so I sent that out to a fellow marketer who's a pretty funny guy, and his headline for my product promoting it was "Village Idiot makes 1.2 million on Google."
Yeah.
So it got a great open rate.
Yeah, I mean, because that term "village idiot," that's a little bit shocking. I mean, to be called, who are they calling a village idiot? Who am I calling a chucklehead? I mean, those kind of things.
People kind of want to know.
Yeah, people want to know that. The last category, and Frank Kern, if you're on his list, and if you saw the video that he did on the rubbernecker effect, I'll give him credit on this because he was the first one to really point this out and notice it. And gosh, I mean, if you saw there for a while, if you were in the internet marketing world, everybody was putting out a subject line that just said "bad news," ... and the open rate was through the roof because it's the rubbernecker effect. There's a wreck on the other side of the road. Let me twist my head around so I can see if there's any blood. I mean, it's a little bit twisted, but that's the human animal. I mean, we want it when we crave bad news for some sick and twisted reason.
If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah,
that's what they say on the evening news. Right?
Yeah, if it bleeds, it leads. So here's some subject lines that we've used in the past that have all the subject lines that we're showing you here, by the way, are all subject lines that we have used in our business that have got a good open rate.
By the way, the bad news is, like Ryan said, was used to death in the internet marketing market. I use it in my niche markets, in my niche biz op markets, and business startup markets, and it still works like a champion.
We used it in
market,
Forex. Yeah, we used it in Forex, and it worked really, really well too. Because my gosh, I mean, for traders, investors, they hear bad news and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?" So, but I hate technology. The word hate, it's negative, but it does draw the eye. Don't take it personally. But what am I not going to take personally?
We used one not too long ago that was just fantastic. It's not on this list, but we wrote, "I'm holding you responsible."
Yeah.
Which was like what is that? You know?
I forget the context of that. Do you remember exactly what that was?
I don't remember the context, but I remember we used that, and one that we sent out, and was "You're going to need a lawyer."
Yeah.
And that was about legal things with sites and things like that, and it's just interesting. Those kind of things are like, really? Why am I?
But it brings up a good point in that whatever you're doing, if it's confusing, if you're doing the pique and the curiosity, if you're saying the retires one, or chucklehead, or village idiot, or I hate this, or you need a lawyer, if you're saying bad news, I mean, that subject line needs to be congruent with the subject of the email.
Yeah, you need to spin as quickly as you can.
Yeah, you don't want to just leave that sitting out there. So, don't take it personally, but the email shouldn't open up with, hey Bob, yeah, I got this new product launch coming up, and da-da-da-da, and then down in the 5th paragraph, you get to the whole don't take it personally, but part. It needs to be congruent. The subject line needs to flow seamlessly into the email if you're using these negative or curiosity devices, because if you don't, you're going to really hack off your people, and they're probably just going to unsubscribe, and you're going to lose credibility. So make sure that you connect the dots for them, and connect it immediately. Absolutely immediately. And for the Ryan Dice retires, the very first line was, no, I'm not retiring, but I am retiring one of my best products.
Yeah. You want to spin that right away, because if you don't, it seems like you've sort of bait and switched the person in.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. So in all those things, make sure that you're treating your people right. Okay, sneaky email marketing trick number 9 is the timing advantage. And this is something that a lot
This
of
one
people
really threw me off. I had no idea this would work as well as it did.
yeah, it is something that a lot of people don't think about. You know, you got an idea for an email, you blast it out. You don't really think about when you do it. And a lot of people have talked about, oh, the best times to mail are Tuesday through Thursday, and we've confirmed that. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Mondays people are crazy. Things are super busy on Mondays. They're not as good. And Fridays people are busting out. They're on the lake. They're having fun. They're doing whatever they want to do on Fridays. So they're not watching their email inbox as well. So we have confirmed that Tuesday through Thursday, through all of our tests, are the best times to mail during the week. The thing that was very interesting though, and I gotta thank my buddy Mike Filsame for this one, because he said that if you'll mail at 5:30 a.m. Eastern, or we said here 4:30 a.m. Central because we're in Central Time Zone, that will get you the best open rates because you'll be in there as soon as people wake up. There's a lot of people in a lot of different markets. One of the first things they do when they wake up is they check their email. So you want to be there when they check that email first thing.
We'd never get to Tim Ferriss.
And yeah, exactly. You'll never get to him. But for the rest of the planet, they're all checking their email in the morning first thing. That's where they're deleting their spam and reading some of the stuff. So you want to be in there and during that time. That's a really, really high value time. And one of the best ways to do it is just to blast out early in the morning. Now, I don't expect you to get up at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time to send out your emails, but you can schedule it. If you're using Aweber or iContact or basically any email, broadcasting solution worth its salt, it's going to allow you to schedule out these emails. So if you'll prepare a little bit ahead of time, get the emails queued up the day before to go out in the morning. We've seen opt-in rates. We saw an improvement of about 20% across the board as soon as we started doing that, sending them out at that time as opposed to sending them out, in the day. Really, sending stuff out in the evening is one of the worst things you can do. Around that 5 o'clock p.m. time is really a not great time to send.
It sort of goes back to that above the fold thing. When they open their email account, you want your message to basically be above the fold.
Right.
If it's already had 50 other messages or 25, I think a Gmail screen holds 25 messages. If it's had 25 messages, pull it down, and most of us on this particular training probably get way more than 25 messages in a day. So, that stuff gets pushed down really quickly. The one thing, the next tip at the bottom is
big tip.
Yeah, weekends are really great for low dollar offers. Most people, a lot of email marketers don't mail on the weekends. We found that to be a really big mistake. And Ryan had not done a lot of low dollar offers. His products are usually very large and advanced. And when we did Get Money from Google promotion, we had some affiliates that just made a killing. I mean, just made thousands of dollars mailing our offer on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays because it was a low dollar offer or a lead gen offer. If you're trying to get people to opt in, we now mail on the weekends for our pre-affiliate promotions, and it really works out.
Yeah, I
very
think
well.
the key here when you're doing weekend stuff is it has to be an impulse offer, because people on the weekends, they're checking their email. I mean, think about it. You check your email on the weekend, right? You don't take the whole weekend off. You'll go and you'll check your email, but you're not going to necessarily have the time. If somebody sends you an interesting offer and there's a long form sales letter or a 30-minute video, and on that video or in that sales letter somebody's selling a $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 product, you're not necessarily going to sit there over the weekend, when your kids are outside playing and, you got buddies over for a barbecue or something like that. You're not going to sit there and be in the right frame of mind to make a major purchase. That's something that happens during the week. But if you're just sending somebody an email saying, hey, go opt in for this report I got, or hey, go buy this $27 offer, or something that's clearly an impulse buy that doesn't require a lot of thought, they're there. They're reading their email. If you make them a low dollar or a lead gen offer, an impulse buy, it's something that they're going to respond to. And on the weekends, nobody else is mailing them. Everybody takes the weekend off.
One little bonus, because so you're a big fish in a little pond. One last little thing I'll throw in here that Yannick Silver shared with me, and I've used to make a lot of money over the years. I forgot about, but if you're using an autoresponder series, and you're getting people to opt into an autoresponder series. He told me the very best day, and we've done that. We did this for years and years and years in a previous business. The best day to mail people an autoresponder series is the same day that they subscribe to your list. So you can set your autoresponder series to go out every 7 days or so. Or in the first week, you may send them something every day, and then eventually it's twice a week, and then once a week, and then once a month, whatever. But if they subscribe to your list on a Tuesday, with the limited amount of information you have, the best day to send them a message through the autoresponder system is another Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday's their day off. Maybe Tuesday's the day that they have the most free time. You don't know that for sure, but it's the most information.
Yeah, you know at least once they showed up on a Tuesday and opted in.
Right.
But again, that affects sequential autoresponders, not broadcasts.
That's correct.
So
Absolutely
you
correct.
can't. Most billing systems won't allow you to send out a broadcast to your entire list, but only mail it on the day at which somebody subscribes. So don't want to confuse anybody there. All right, sneaky email marketing trick number 10. We're coming to the end here, but sneaky email marketing trick number 10 is what we call a green mailing, and it's not green because it's not actually green, and it's not green because it has anything to do with money. It's green because it has to do with recycling. So we're earth friendly here. When it
we
comes
don't want
to our
to
email
waste all our
marketing.
bits and bytes.
Yeah, no, but the idea here, we talk about recycling. We're talking more about recycling your unopens. This is a screenshot, so you can get a sense of some of our more recent campaigns that have gone out in our email marketing thing. And the only one that I would disregard is this top one because it went out fairly soon after. We took the screenshot fairly soon after this went out. So this open rate is low, but only because it wasn't out very long. But you can look at most of these. Okay, so here was an open rate of 14%. This one was fairly low, but this right here, 23%, 19%, 21%, 23%. You can see we're consistently, above in the 20. Down here we had some, we're consistently in the 20 to 25%, on up to 30% open rates. But that still means, for this one in particular, hey, great, we had a 23% open rate. That still means that 77% of the people
never
opened it. What more advanced autoresponder solutions like Aweber, like I believe iContact,
you have to go to Aweber Advanced, don't you?
Yeah, they will allow you to send this same email out to the people who did not open. Now hear this, because this is very, very crucial. You can send the exact same email to the people who didn't open. All you do is you change up
the headline.
You change up the subject line.
Yeah.
Exactly. You change up the subject line. You don't have to bother writing a new email. So they didn't open it before, so the body of the message can remain the same. They haven't seen it. You send out a new subject line, you can go back and get another 15% of the people who didn't open to open it again.
You can usually end up with the same promotion in one email right at doubling your amount of revenue that you generate from a mailing if you follow this.
Say that again, because that was big.
If you will generally double the amount of revenue you generate from a mailing if you'll do this basically 3 times.
Yeah, three times. That's
you mail the entire section you're going to mail, the entire list that you're going to mail. You change the headline and you mail the unopens one more time, and then you take the unopens from that mailing and you mail them one more time. So in the last mail, you may get progressively more flamboyant in your email title.
Right.
If they're not paying attention. Hey, what's wrong? You're not paying attention. I don't know if you want to go that way. That's totally up to you. You know your list. But the point is, it gives you a chance to test headlines to the same list too, which is really cool. So you can get to find out what your open rates are like at different times, different headlines. But this one simple tip, if you're watching this product on email marketing, okay, this one simple tip will double or almost double in our case your revenues from all of your email marketing. I hope you understand how powerful that is.
And all you got to do is write a new subject line. And we've already taught you some ways to go research subject lines by looking at Dig. Yeah. Now, so again, we use Aweber to do this, and so what we've done, there's going to be a bonus video that's coming along with that. I honestly, it's a special feature inside Aweber. I don't really even know how to do it. We got some guys in our office who do all this stuff for us. So they're creating a video. It's going to walk you through the steps of getting this set up in Aweber so that you can see exactly how to do this. But trust me, this is something that you absolutely must do.
That one's a biggie. You might want to hold on to that.
Yeah.
It's a Lamborghini.
That's a car, $275,000. No, but This is a biggie. I mean, it's just free money sitting there that you can have, and all you got to do, make it a habit. When you write an email, I mean, right now you're writing an email and you're writing a subject line. Just go ahead at the same time when you're writing that email.
Just write two more.
Write two more subject lines.
It's a good idea to write multiple headlines anyway.
Right, and you'll have all the work done for you. And like Perry said, you'll probably make twice as many sales. So you tell me I can make twice as much money.
Only twice as many.
Yeah, it's only about twice as many. Who needs that, right?
You should take all that money and buy Ryan Dice and Perry Belcher products with the profits, the additional profits that you make.
Yeah, just give it to me. You wouldn't want to have to pay the taxes anyway.
We shouldn't have to send a product, should we?
No.
If you get a tip like that, you should send us half the money. I think that's fair.
That is fair. Okay, so that sums up part 2 where we talked about getting some sneaky tricks to get your emails open. And there's absolutely no doubt that, you know, if you implement all of those strategies, you're going to get a significant increase in your open rate. And obviously, you know, if your open rate was 15%, you get it up above 20%, I mean, you're going to be making about 30% more money. I mean, the math is very, very simple. And if you follow what we told you to do in part 1, you're going to have more people on your list anyway. So we got you more people on your list. We got more of those people.
Twice as many people on your list, twice as many people opening the mails.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go to
Yeah,
part
and
3.
now what we're going to do in part 3 is talk about how you can get twice as many people to actually click your emails, to click on your link, and to go to the page once they've opened it. So with that, we'll finish off this section and jump over to part 3 and talk about getting the click-through.